And back to action we go. Sorry if there was some silence there. A few technical difficulties as those are cleared up, and we are indeed back in Andale, Kansas for this boys game between the Spartans and the Indians, a rivalry like no other in the ABCTL. For the Spartans, and we'll get to the starting lineups as well. The Spartans, 5'10" senior, number 2, Jack Grace. And the Indians, 6'3" senior. Oh, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. More technical difficulties. Yes, for the Spartans, it's number 2, Jack Grace, number 3, A.J. Batiste. For the Indians, number 1, Austin Ballman, and number 2, Bo Kaiser. For the Spartans, number 11, Jaden Parker. Look for some big plays from him in this game, as a matchup with Jaden Parker is not going to go super smoothly for many defenders. The Spartans, it's number 15, Carter Drumright, and the Indians, number 24, Jack Horsch. And the big man in the middle for the Spartans, number 33, David Shege. And number 33, Caden Fowler for the Indians. And so the Spartans trying to spoil senior night for the Indians. Just a reminder, the Spartan ladies took an unfortunate loss to the Indians, the Lady Indians, 67-24, as they close out their season with a record of 8-12. Spartans coming into this game 15-4, the Indians 15-3, number 1 in 4A West so far, surprisingly beating out the McPherson Bullpups, that great basketball program up north. And some keys to the game will definitely be, for the Spartans, will definitely be shooting, definitely shooting, as they will have to get a lot of looks from the perimeter if they want to really take advantage of their superior shooting. But there is indeed a height disadvantage for the Spartans here with Andale. Everyone in their lineup over 6 foot, so Spartans might have some problems with that in this game. And for the Indians, crashing the boards will definitely be a point of concern here, as it's basically the reason that they took the win against the Spartans earlier this year. Offensive rebounds have been a very key point for the Spartans, and it's the Spartans winning the tip yet again. Carter Drumright, a nice pass opening to Jaden Parker. Big body bucket in the paint for 2. And 2-0 start in this game. 7:47 as it's that's Patuchik handling. Gets it to Ballman in the corner. He's surveying, taking his sweet time. Gets an open look in the paint and puts it in for 2. Just went around the Spartan defense there and put a little teardrop in. Now it's Drumright off the inbounds, giving it to Grace in the corner. He looks to drive on number 24. That's Jack Horsch. Batiste takes a nice little layup. And a nice rebound underneath by David Shege. Passes up to Carter Drumright for 3. And another great offensive rebound underneath by Jack Grace, getting the unusual Carter Drumright miss. We usually see a lot of makes from him. 28 seconds on the shot clock. Nice reset. And it's poked away by Jack Horsch. He'll want to take this one all the way. Took that one up, no good, but recovered yet again by Austin Ballman, using his height and the fact that no one was really around there, and put it up, giving the Indians a 4-2 lead. 6:48 left in the first quarter. The Spartans trying to scramble for something on offense. It's Parker with it. Sees some open lane. Gets it to Jack, now to Carter. He tries to drive it baseline. He's it to Chege. He loses it. Chege. Let it run over a man. Gets it back to Parker. Tries to survey. Pull up in the paint. No good. But a great rebound underneath by Chege. And a foul underneath on, looks like number 33, Molitor. Fowler. As Chege will go to the line to shoot 2. Big man getting some Whoa, sorry about those issues, ladies and gentlemen. We have been struggling with those for a while now. It's 14-8. The Spartans down by 6 with 2:03 left in this first quarter. And apologies, and a million apologies going my way to you guys, as I have robbed you of almost 6 minutes of basketball. As it's 2 misses by A.J. Batiste, not being able to capitalize there. In and out by Austin Ballman. Strong rebound by A.J. Batiste, was being clobbered there. And Drumright takes a little pull-up of his own in the lane, fading to his right side. He makes it 10-14 in favor of the Indians. And now Carter Drumright takes a foul of his own. 4-2. 4-2 in terms of fouls for both teams. The Indians, 2-point lead on fouls with 1:39 left in the first quarter. The Spartans might want to take advantage of that. The Spartans go to a press yet again, trying to get these Indians uncomfortable. They get it into Ballman. Ballman with it on Batiste. With it, Batiste on him. Now it's back to Patuchik, guarded by Kamari Jennings. Ballman sees the feed and puts it in. Putting it in that time is Cooper Marks. They've utilized the paint and the three-point line, and the Spartans have not really been able to recover. It's Kamari Jennings trying to drive, gets it to Batiste. He tries to get it to Kamari for three. Three of his own. Off the mark, no good, but a great rebound underneath by Batiste. And he puts in a two-pointer of his own. More offensive rebounding and more great buckets by the Spartans. Second chance points have been saving the Spartans in this game. It's a wide open lane for number 4, Koepker to drive. He takes a little pull-up mid-range. That's off, no good. Taken off the glass by Logan Clay. Gets it out to AJ with 39 seconds left, 16-12. The Spartans have gotten some great second chance opportunities. The offensive rebounds have been serving them well here. And now it's Parker with it. Just wasting time at this point. 14 seconds on the shot clock, 20 seconds on the game clock in the first quarter. 4-2 on fouls, 16-12 in favor of the Indians. And Jaden looks to drive. Gets it to Mason Bond for 3. Off the mark, no good. And Ballman's hacked that time on the rebound. Going up for it were 2 Spartans and 1 Indian. And the 2 Spartans ended up clobbering the Indian. 8-7, 16-12. Fouls are definitely a point of concern in this game for both teams. 14-3. They both like to play. 16-12. They both like to play physical. 4-3 on fouls so far. And it's a poke out of bounds off of Bond. Way past the half-court stripe, and the Spartans go back to a press. They get it. Andale gets it in from the baseline with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. The Spartans don't want to get anything here. Horsch puts it up. Wild three's off, no good. That was Steph Curry range right there, and he is apparently not Steph Curry. 16-3 with 8. 16-3 with another 8 left in the second quarter. One more quarter of play for the Spartans before halftime. Spartans have gotten great second chance opportunities here. It's that is a sharp contrast to what we saw against Andale earlier in the year. And 8 minutes of basketball left in this first half for the Collegiate Spartans and the Andale Indians. And it's Austin Ballman with 9 points early, followed by Cooper Marks, number 34. I remember Riley Marks, the javelin thrower for the Andale Indians back in class of 2023. As he is now at Kansas State University, throwing javelin. Little deep cut for those who know. Mark's family, very athletic family in Andale history. And it's the Spartans inbounding. Jaden Parker with it, trying to methodically peel back the offense. Being the floor general this time. Bond with it, sees an open lane. Foul underneath, he'll take a 2 of his own. Shooting foul that time, looks like it was on number 12. That was Hunter Grimes. Oh, pardon, that was number 2, Bo Kaiser. The Spartans will actually have it on the baseline. Try and get it in. Jack Grace takes a little pull-up midi off the mark. No good. Taken off the glass again by Koepker. Patuchik. He has some open space. And he feeds it to Bo Kaiser for an easy 2 and 1. 18-12. Bo Kaiser getting 2 of his own and an opportunity to get 3 the hard way. Mason Bond getting the foul that time. And Kaiser at the line. He rattles that one in. Now it's Bond with it, trying to make something for the Spartans as, well, frankly, they've been inconsistent on offense. And just like that, it's a poke away yet again by Koepker. He's had a big presence in this second quarter with about 45 seconds left. It's Kaiser with it. Faking it. Ballman wants another 3. And Austin Ballman has 12 points. Spartans need to recover and try and keep Ballman in a place where they can contain him if they want to put a seal on this game. Now it's Bond trying to bring it in himself. Up, no good. But it'll take 2 free throws of his own. 6:58. Spartans a 10-point deficit now. 22-12 in Andale. And Bond will take 2 free throws of his own. First one's off the back of the iron. And he's not going to be happy about himself with that one. With that malicious Andale student section staring right down at him. Second shot is pure for Mason Bond. Good recovery that time. And Spartans 22-13. Down by 9 with 6:54 left in this game. Or pardon, in this half. On the floor is number 10, Patuchik, but he recovers, gets it back to his teammates. It's Horsch with it. He takes a pull-up 3, and the threes are raining here in Andale for the Indians. 25-13. They can't stop this perimeter attack by the Indians. And the Spartans trying to get something to work. It's Grace with it on the perimeter. He's trying to search for something. Parker takes a little up and under air ball that time from the perimeter. Or pardon, from inside the mid-range, and the Spartans have had almost no response for the Indians in this second quarter. Ballman in the corner, they don't want him shooting him another 3, as he is hot so far. 12 points in the first half, with 6 minutes left in this second quarter. And a great takeaway by David Chege. He'll want to go the distance with this one. Puts that one up, no good. The transition offense not really going for David Chege, not being able to use his 6'6" frame for that one. Really bothered that time in transition and wasn't able to convert. Coach Beagle's not going to be happy about that one. A ball handler not usually, and that is David Chege's mantra. But he can get you some buckets in the paint. It's Ballman with it. Now to Horsch. He's trying to work on 2 Spartans. Tries to get it back. It's Kaiser. Horsch. Trying to search for something here. Trying to work on Batiste. Gets it to Kaiser. Guarded by Drumright. Now to Ballman. He sees the matchup he likes on Jennings. But he decides to take it into the paint. Out to Koepker. And now a 3 is down again by Jack Horsch. The threes, yet again, are raining in Andale. And AJ Batiste wants a 3 of his own. Nothing but net for AJ Batiste that time, 28-16. He cuts the lead down to a meager 12, when it was once only 4. Spartans gambling a little on their press, and they leave Kaiser wide open. You know he can make those. Tap out off of the rebound by Jack Horsch. trying to force something out of that one. But not that time. It's Maddox drum right from the baseline to take it out. It's Jennings. It is Jennings. Drum right. Grace, Clay, and Batiste on the floor for the Spartans. And it's Ballman, Horsch, Marks, Kaiser. And it looks like yes, it's Ballman. After the pressuring, giving heavy pressure to Jennings out of bounds, and then again, a turnover. Not many turnovers in this game for either team, but the Spartans have definitely had a few mistakes and a few things not go their way. It's a feed inside to Kaiser. He saved that one out to Marks. Another feed to Kaiser underneath. And yet again, Kaiser. Buckets in the paint. Buckets in the paint. Buckets in the paint. The paint and the perimeter are working well for Andale in this game. It's Grace trying to drive on Kaiser. Crosses him up. Couldn't get the highlight finish, but tapped out of bounds. Drum right looks like he had a hand on that one, but it was tapped out of bounds by the Indians, but it's going to the Indians yet again. Spartan offense here has just been stagnant. 30-16. This is what we see from the Spartans when they play lower level opponents. But in this case, it's the Indians playing the Spartans this time. Not really want to see from a rivalry matchup. It's been total domination by the Indians so far in this game. It's the Kaiser. Now to Ballman. He's trying to work on drum right. Body's in the paint. Ballman trying to get it away from Chege. Now it's Horsch to Kaiser. Poked away by Jaden Parker. They're trying to drain this shot clock and get a bucket here. 30-16. Kaiser doesn't see something he likes. He tries to get something in the paint. And the Spartans make a great defensive play. And it's Bond going the other way, trying to look for something. Bond with it, trying to facilitate the offense. Parker in the corner. He wants to drive it into the paint. Up and under is good for Jaden Parker. Nice little bunny shot by Jaden Parker. Now it's Kaiser. And a timeout by Andale. Spartans stagnant on offense. And the Indians lights out from three. That's the story of this game so far, ladies and gentlemen. And a couple good paint touches for the Indians as well. 30-18, 2:46 left in the half. The Spartans down by 12. And the Spartans have not really been able to capitalize on opportunities they've had, while the Indians are capitalizing left and right on Spartan miscues. 12 points for Austin Ballman, and not much offense for the Spartans here. Parker with 4, and Batiste with 7, with David Chege bringing in 4 of his own. And the Indians have done a great job of capitalizing on mismatches, as the Spartans, like we said, giving up size. And yet again, the perimeter is not hot that time for Patutic. Bond tries to get in the paint. Strong finish by Mason Bond. Little over his head and into the bucket. Ballman with it, trying to drive on drum right. That teardrop by Austin Ballman was pretty. Got drum right in the air and took it in for a nice pull-up too. Now Batiste. Hook shot, no good after the drive, but snatched off the glass by the Indians. They're trying to run it themselves. It's Marks, now to Ballman and Kaiser, trying to work on Chege. And Ballman gets drum right in the air again, takes another pull-up. That one's off, no good. But yet again, the rebounds going very well for the Indians. Bo Kaiser didn't look for a 3 there. He was open, but Now he elects to drive on Bond. Looks like a great defense by Mason Bond, really getting his hand on the ball and bringing Kaiser to the ground with him. It's out of bounds in favor of the Indians. And so Chege comes back into the game. Chege and Clay, the two bigs, as the Spartans trying to get something going on offense. Offense and defense. Another three is through the money by Austin Ballman, and 17 points in the first half. The Spartans have not found an answer for Austin Ballman in this game. Parker trying to feed Clay. He doesn't look for a three. Usually lives in the paint. And now Jennings with it from the pass from Batiste. That one, little midi, rolls in for Gamari Jennings. First points of the game, and 1:09 left in this first half. 35-22. The Spartans have not gotten much so far. Patutic with it, almost poked away by Chege. It's recovered by Indians. And now another three is right off the mark by Austin Ballman. Hit nothing but air. And Jaden Parker and Kamari Jennings looking to communicate on the inbound so that they can set up a Spartan possession. 51 seconds left, 35-22. The Spartans have had some great offensive rebounding in this game, but they're not capitalizing enough on those opportunities to warrant some good possessions. It's Batiste trying to drive baseline, puts up a tough baseline mid-range J, and it's through the marker. Patucic trying to work on Chege, gets it to Marks, trying to work on Jennings in the paint. Now it's back out to Kaiser. Patucic himself setting up the offense yet again. 12 seconds left on the clock. 35-24. It's Ballman with it. He might take a three of his own. And a foul on Kamari Jennings to stop the clock. 5.5, not really intended there. And Kamari Jennings didn't really Kamari Jennings didn't really like that call there. It says, it goes out of the game, and for him goes Jack Grace, the senior. And now Ballman, he takes a deep three. And the crowd goes wild for Austin Ballman. 20 points in the first half for Austin Ballman. 28-24. The Indians are rolling here in Andale. And the Spartans have not really found an answer. Coach Fiegel will have a definitely stern talk with his guys in the locker room, and with 10 minutes to recover and 10 minutes to get themselves back into the loop with a nice halftime talk, Coach Fiegel's squad is going back to the locker room, down 14. 20 points for Austin Ballman. He has been on fire. More than half of the points for the Indians in this first half. 27-38. 38-24. The Spartans not really showing up in this rivalry matchup so far. But the second half is always an opportunity to rebound physically and figuratively. About some keys to the game for the Spartans in this one. Well, they have definitely gotten a lot of offensive rebounds, which is something we have been wanting to see from the Spartans in these past few games. They certainly have had trouble connecting on many of them and creating quality possessions for themselves. As it's A.J. Batiste leading the score with 9. Not a lot of paint possessions for the Spartans, and when they've gotten paint possessions, they've been able to connect on many, but a few have just not been through the marker. Some great rebounding by Jack Grace led to a missed mid-range there, and the offense of the Indians has just has left the Spartans flabbergasted in that first half. The Indians using a lot of dribble screen to perimeter play action, and it's worked wonders for them so far in this game. 28-34, up by 14 coming out of the break. There's 7:30 left in this halftime break. Spartans will look for answers. In an evaluation of both teams, the Spartans have had some good defense, have had some good defensive possessions behind the three-point line, but the threes, like we said, are raining here for the Indians in Andale. And those threes have not been super contested. Have not been super contested as the dribble screen action leading to perimeter shots by the Indians have have worked wonders for them in this game.
Time to blow the roof off this dome with the most blackened band in all the land. The Andale High School.
And the offense for the Spartans, like we said, not really having a lot of cohesion. And so the Spartans, of course, searching for answers. They've gotten some good looks in the paint and some good perimeter looks, but it's all 50-50 for the Spartans. 38-24. They'll have an opportunity to come out and really throw some punches in that second half. And for the Indians, their defense has definitely limited some paint touches for the Spartans, as drives have been stifled, passing lanes have been hard to come by, and it's a very, 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 very tough place to score when you're on the offensive end against this Andale defense. And Andale's offense has definitely been flowing like a river, as it is wet. As it is wet in Andale in the Andale Stadium, figuratively though, as the Indians have definitely made it rain from three. Austin Ballman getting a lot of great looks from three in that game, on the perimeter as well as Cruz Kaiser knocking in a few of his own, and Jack Horsch getting one of his own as well. 38-24, the Spartans are scrambling for options on both offense and defense. And if I know Coach Fiegel, he will be very stern with his players coming out of the half. Just recapping, a win for the Spartans, while not really a win for the Spartans, while good for morale, would not really affect them super heavily in the postseason, as they're already locked in as the 5th seed in their sub-state, playing on Friday against the Halstead Dragons at home. And for the Indians, this game would definitely be a great victory, as well, as the Indians are currently ranked number one in the 4A West sub-state. Surprisingly, over the always great, always solid McPherson Bullpups, who the Spartans took an unfortunate 5-point loss to earlier in the year. As it's 38-24 with 3:20 left in halftime. As halftime entertainment is coming for the for the Indians, and we have one of Andale's dancers putting up some shots of her own. Free throw that time missed. Another free throw that time. Off the front of the rim, no good. At least he didn't airball that one. As the entertainment continues, we'll be back after this. 2:45 to go in halftime. And we see the Andale players coming back out. With the way that Austin Ballman has been shooting in this game, he might be on track for 40. And the Spartans will have to make some adjustments to try and pressure him and keep him from getting to those driving lanes. And we've seen a lot of drives from Austin Ballman. Definitely very versatile, being able to drive and shoot at 6'3". As 6'3" may be a prototypical guard size, but in high school, it is definitely good to have some size on you. And 2 minutes tick away with 38-24 on the scoreboard, and the Spartans are scrambling for options. And those options might come from those players that are trying to help this team get to where it wants to go. In that case, with that being a very concise win here, as we see some of the JV players for the Spartans coming onto the court. There's a very interesting format for these few games here in Andale, as the JV boys game ran through the first half of the boys varsity game, and that's why we didn't see a lot of Spartan bench guys on the benches in that first half. 38-24 with 1 minute left in halftime. The Spartans will look to their leadership for options. As the Indians look focused with the entire town on their back. Seconds tick away before the start of the second half. This is a make or break quarter for the Spartans, as they really would like to get some momentum back here. Austin Ballman with 20 points. Spartans will definitely look to limit him in this first quarter of the second half. As another 8 minutes goes on to the clock, it's 38-24. Spartans down by 14. With 2 more quarters to make it right. And it's going the way of the Spartans to start the second half, as it's the regular starting lineup in for these Collegiate Spartans: Grace, Drumright, Batiste, Parker, and Chege. Drumright handles himself. We haven't seen much from him in this game. Only 2 points so far off of a tough mid-range J. Gets it to Parker in the paint. Tough bucket and one with just 13 seconds. Starting in the third quarter. Gets a tough bucket and one. Big body basketball in the paint. They'll have a chance to make it 3 points the hard way. Knocks that one. Jaden Parker struggling from the line late in the year. He will look to recover and recalibrate. As it's Patusic with the ball. Jading Drumright, now getting it to Horsch, now to Ballman. Now it's Kaiser with it. Now that's Fowler. Back to Patusic. Tries to get in the paint. To Fowler. That's an easy one for Caden Fowler. Just saw a nice pass in the paint that he wanted, and he took it himself. 40-27. Ball was poked away. On the floor that time was Jack Horsch, trying to get the Spartans uncomfortable here. And Jack Grace will have it out of bounds, getting it into Jaden Parker for an easy 2. No one covering him that time. He cuts it back to an 11-point lead, 40-29, with 7:05 left in this game. And a great takeaway out of bounds by Jack Grace, going the way of the Indians yet again. We thank you to those who are tuning in with us at the WCS Sports Broadcasting radio show here in Andale, Kansas, as the Spartans are down 11 with 7:03 left in this third quarter. 40-29. We've seen a lot of big buckets from Austin Ballman. 20 points in that first quarter. And a great block underneath by David Chege. But the refs didn't like that one. A little bit too much contact. They call him for the foul. Fowler goes to the line to shoot 2 of his own. David Chege, usually a great shot blocker, was able to recover and but didn't quite have the step to count it as a full block. Fowler is off the back of the iron. No good for the first one. 40-29 with 6:54. 6:54 left in the third quarter. And he rattles that one in. Drumright with it. Trying to move up tempo. Puts up a wild layup of his own. Trying to really get something going there, but it's Horsch with the takeaway. Trying to get something in the paint. Stops and travels. Jack Horsch. A little bit of contact after the initial travel, and the Spartans will have it. Spartans will have it on the underneath, and down the way, it's Jaden Parker with it. To Batiste in the corner for 3. That's off the mark, no good. Taken away by Patutic. Long rebound that time. Trying to get it away. Trying to find something. A.J. Batiste fell on his booty that time, but Jack Horsch took that one and buried it from the corner. And hard foul that time on Jack Horsch. He went tumbling into the bleachers, and the Spartan and the Indian students don't really like that one. Very, very vocal from the Indian student section. Looks like no free throws coming for Jack Horsch, as it's 44-29, and they recover the ball. Now it's Ballman with it. Tried to work on Jack Grace, but nothing there. Now to Kaiser. He's looking for an option. Patutic takes a 3 of his own. That's off the mark, no good. A great rebound underneath by Koepker. Stripped away from Patutic by Batiste. And AJ, might have been a goaltend there by number 1 Ballman, but a nice recovery by Jaden Parker. Count that one as a block, but Jaden got that one up to recover and put it back. 44-31, 5:45 left in the third quarter. Koepker trying to drive on Jennings, gets it to Ballman. He's been hot in the first half, and apparently he's hot in the second as well. Ballman has what he likes, and what he likes are threes. In the first and second halves for Ballman, it's 23 points total. Jack Grace with it, trying to work on his matchup. Gets a Batiste. Layup blocked that time by the Indians. Rejected out of thin air. And a great takeaway by the Spartans in transition. Tried to get it to Koepker or the Indians. And Jack Grace takes a strong one up. No good. And Patutic strong with the rebound. Pressured by, trying to take it away was Jaden Parker, ripping it out of his hands. But it's an Indian ball yet again. Patutic, not much of a scorer, but he'll set up the offense himself. 47-31. Gets it to Kaiser. Spartans down 16. Don't want this one to get too out of hand in Andale. And an easy, or no, very tough one. Very, very tough take for Caden Fowler. And the Spartans want a timeout. Coach Fiegel definitely not liking what he sees from his Spartans. But they've gotten some good opportunities defensively, so he can be happy about that. 49-31, the Spartans, 4:27 left in the third quarter, are scrambling yet again to find something, find a rhythm. But then again, the Spartans can just build off of what they've done already and hopefully find something that'll work. Andale's done a really good job recovering off of these Spartan misses, as a lot of offensive rebounding by the Spartans in the first half, but really not much. Very, very quiet from the Spartans in the second. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit of a water break. As have to keep the voice fresh for you guys. Coming up, so please tune into the Spartans sub-state matchup versus Halstead on Friday. That's Bond with it. Gets it to Drumright, wide open in the corner. And that's pure for Maddox Drumright. We've seen a lot of shooting from him in this second half of the season, these past few games, and he knocks that one in. Indians trying to get something. And a lob to Ballman is through. Playmaking pass by Bo Kaiser to Ballman for an easy 2. Drumright trying to drive. Gets it to Jennings. He wants a pull-up J. Blocked by the Indians. And Jennings trying to get something. And the Spartans trying to recover. Horst tried to evade a couple of Spartans that time. And it's back to Kaiser, guarded by Bond. Now to Bo Kaiser. Almost poked away by Jaden Parker, recovered by Austin Ballman. Spartans extreme pressure. And an air ball layup up and under by Bo Kaiser. He was trying to get that one to go, make a fancy play. And it's Jaden Parker. Tough bucket and a tough miss by Jaden Parker. Cleared off the glass by the Indians. They want to take it in transition and get it to Kaiser in the corner, but no, he gets it back out to Marks, number 34. Guarded by Clay. He looked to get into Kaiser. Paint touches are flowing for the Indians. And that rebound is up. No good. Mike Cruz Kaiser, and it's going the other way for the Spartans. Foul off of the rebound. Logan Clay was fighting with Cooper Marks that time as it's 51-34. The Spartans down by 17. 2:54 left in this third quarter. Foul. Last play was a foul by Cooper Marks, and the next play is a nice little bucket by AJ Batiste. Kaiser takes a long pass, and a charge taken by Mason Bond. Kaiser put a little bit of an elbow into his chest, and that chest fell to the ground, and the ref said, "No thank you, going to the Spartans." Now it's Drumright with it off of the turnover, 51-34. The Spartans haven't gotten much in this game, but they have certainly gotten some opportunities. Bond in the corner, air ball that time by Mason Bond. As it's a pass up to Horsch, guarded by the Spartans. Spartans trying to recover as Batiste is guarded up on Patutic. Now it's Jack Horsch, guarded by Drumright. Back to Patutic. Now in the corner to Kaiser. He's looking for an option yet again. Now to Cruz Kaiser. Marks. Indians using all that shot clock. 7 on the shot clock. A pass to Cooper Marks. And an open 3 for Harrison Patutic. And another rebound. Absolutely rejected by David Chege. Looked like a JaVale McGee snatch block that time. Great rejection by David Chege, showing off his shot blocking prowess. Really rejecting that one from Bo Kaiser. As the ball's tipped out of bounds by Carter Drumright. Andale will have it out of bounds, 145, 51-36. And a lot has happened in this game. A lot good for Andale. And the Spartans trying to recover. Ballman taking it into the paint himself. Tough layup. No good by Austin Ballman. Fowler trying to get it himself. Now Ballman tries to get it to a man underneath. That's a Patutic. Now a pass underneath for number 4. Rolls in for Sam Cooper. He is adding to this flurry of threes from the Indians. Drumrights now to Batiste. He takes a 3 of his own. Off the mark, no good. Spartans scrambling yet again as the Indians look ahead to Kupker. Yet again, 5 quick points for Sam Kupker. With 1 minute left in the third quarter, the Spartans find themselves in a 20-point deficit, much akin to what we saw against Wellington earlier in the month. Batiste with it on the corner. He tries to look for something. Now it's Drumright. Batiste back to Drumright. He takes a 3 of his own. That's through for Maddox Drumright. Second 3 of the game for Mad Dog Drummy, as we like to call him. And Ballman. Now to Patusic. He's looking for some type of option here. And electing to slow it down here is Harrison Patusic. As he's looking for an option, he gets it to Fowler. Now to Horsch. A lot of movement here for the Indians. A 3-pointer's off, no good. By David Chege. Ballman the rebound. Multiple offensive rebounds for the Indians, but nothing goes for them. Great defense in the paint for the Spartans. 25 points for Austin Ballman. 11 for AJ Batiste. 56-39. One more quarter of basketball left, people, and the Spartans find themselves in a deep hole, trying to dig themselves out of it. We thank you to the viewers who have tuned in yet again to this presentation of this varsity matchup, as there are 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And the Spartans need to take advantage of these opportunities that have been given to them and not turn the ball over if they want to chip away at this 17-point lead from the Indians, 56-39. With one more quarter of basketball left, ladies and gentlemen, can the Spartans do it? Can they climb back from a 17-point hole in this game and go into sub-state play with a key victory to help with their state resume? Aside from the 25 by Austin Ballman, very balanced scoring for the Indians here. Jack Horsch with 9. Sam Kupker with 5. Caden Fowler with 5. And on the floor right now, number 22, Cruz Kaiser, has 3 of his own. The perimeter is the Indians' best friend, as Austin Ballman gets pushed underneath by Jaden Parker off of the feed and the screen underneath the basket. Screen action has worked wonders for the Indians, as the Spartans are still trying to figure that offense out. And a great rejection by Jaden Parker, but it's recovered by the Indians off the inbounds. Cruz Kaiser with it. Now Horsch. Ballman. Now to Koepker. Ballman with it. And Horsch takes a 3 of his own. Off the front of the rim, no good. And a pushing foul going the way of the Indians. And it's Spartan ball. 7:31 left. 56-39. Look for some action from Carter Drumright here late in this game, folks. As the Spartans need some perimeter points to get going. Or Kamari Jennings, that could work either way, as well as Maddox Drumright, but he turns it over. Back to Koepker. Takes a wild layup of his own. Out of bounds. Tipped out by Jaden Parker. Just lazy pass that time by Maddox Drumright, and Koepker took advantage, but not a full advantage. And now it's Koepker. Now to Fowler. Cruz Kaiser with it. Now back to Jack Horsch. Now it's number 4 Koepker. Back to Horsch in the corner. They're looking for something in the paint, but they are fully content with holding this possession and trying to get something from the perimeter to ice this game. It's a 3 seconds in the lane violation on the Indians. Looks like might have been a Fowler staying a little, making a little home in the paint, but but it was being built illicitly, so it is going back the way of the Spartans. And once again we thank the viewers who have been tuning into this game and supporting us for this entire regular season as the Spartans, down 17, are looking to get some points back here with 6:40 left in the fourth quarter. Stranger things have happened to the Spartans, and the ball's tipped away by the Indians yet again. Ballman recovers, and he gives it to Kaiser for a nice 2 in the paint. Transition, transition, transition is the key word for the Indians, and the Spartans cannot let those Indians get in transition. Batiste with it, takes a pull-up mid-range J. Heavy contest by Jack Horsch off the front of the rim. No good. Ballman recovers. Spartans jumping in their press, constantly trying to get something. It's Fowler with it. Hands it off to Horsch in the paint. Now he recovers back. Now Fowler again, guarded by Chege. 33 on 33. He gets it to Horsch. He takes another 3. Air ball by Jack Horsch, but a scoop recovery by Austin Ballman, and a great takeaway by Jack Grace, who feeds it up ahead to Carter Drumright for an easy 2. 58-41, the Spartans still down by 17. Will it be enough to propel a comeback in this game? 5:26 left, and the Spartans have not really. And the Spartans put the trap on Patusic, but he takes a timeout. The Spartans really. Spartans trying to utilize that press. Spartans trying to utilize that press that has been so helpful to them in these highly contested games. But with 58-41 and a 17-point lead in this rivalry matchup, will it be enough to propel the Spartans with 5:21 left in this game? Well, in this fourth quarter, the Andale Indians have controlled the offensive glass, and the Spartans have gotten a few good buckets in transition, but the transition has mostly belonged to the Indians, the transition and the perimeter as well. As, yet again, the perimeter has been the best friend of the Indians in this game, as 58-41 is not looking too great for the Spartans. But anything can happen in this game, ladies and gentlemen, with 5:20 left in regulation. It's to Kaiser. They try and get it in to Ballman in the paint. Cut action. Dribble cutting yet again. And Carter Drumright takes a 3 of his own. Very, very quiet night for Carter Drumright as heavy pressure by the Spartans. They try to get it out. And they do get it out to Kaiser. And Kaiser was not very rejected that time by David Chege. But that was after the play, so it's a foul on Carter Drumright. His third of the game. Very, very quiet night for Carter Drumright, ladies and gentlemen. He'll hope to recover in a sub-state play as a pass off the knees of Jaden Parker out of bounds on the baseline. And driving baseline has worked some for the Spartans in this game, but the baseline has led to a few Andale buckets as well. As back cut action and crafty little plays have worked wonders for the Indians. And we don't see one of those now as it's a simple pass to the perimeter. It's Kaiser with it. Now to Ballman. He takes a screen, but gets it back to Patusic, trying to get something. Horsch with it. He wants another 3. That's off the mark. No good. Long rebound. Scooped up by Fowler. Trying to get something out to the perimeter. It's Patusic. Trying to drive as Patusic, but it's another foul underneath on the drive. Shooting 2 will be Patusic. Looks like the foul was on Carter Drumright. He picks up 2 quick fouls with 4:24 left in this fourth quarter. And a rivalry matchup solely dominated by the Indians as Patusic Didn't quite get that one. It's off the left side of the iron, and another opportunity for Harrison Petusik will come with 58-41 left in the game. The Spartans 2-2 in their past two games, maybe. But if they can string together some quick buckets and get a few stops, anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's Bond with it, guarded by Ballman. Not really having to work much is Bond, now getting to Parker. He tries to take a layup in the paint. Tough layup off the drive, but scooped up by the Indians. They look to work in transition yet again. Ballman, he wants another three. Austin Ballman can't really connect in the fourth quarter, however. But Jack Horsch wants another one of his own. Didn't get that one that time, but Bo Kaiser said, I'll just use my hops to get one of my own as well. And he gets an easy two. It's a 20-point lead for Andale, 61-41. 3:46 left in this game. 25 points for Austin Ballman so far. With 3:46 left in the fourth quarter, the Spartans try to get it off of the backs of the Indians. Jaden Parker scrambling for the ball, but just gets it to Jack Grace. Now to Batiste in the corner. Fakes, fades away. Off the mark, no good. Off the hands of Logan Clay, going yet again the way of the Indians. 3:30 left in this game, as it's a 20-point lead for Andale, as the Spartans have had a very, very rough time in the country here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Petusik with it, getting it to Ballman. He's looking to work on Grace. Gets it underneath to number 33, Fowler. 2 offensive rebounds for Fowler off of the rejection by Logan Clay, and it's a foul underneath on Jaden Parker. Tensions running high in this game, 61-41. The Spartans are not happy with their performance, as Jaden Parker has definitely had a bit of an underwhelming one here. Only 11 points on the game from the usually high-scoring Jaden Parker, as it's a pass and bounce to Fowler. Now to Marks. Now Petusik trying to look for something in the paint, but Ballman wants a three of his own. Rims in and out, no good. Jaden Parker saves it from going out of bounds. And Kamari Jennings has it up court, trying to dribble. Wolfed away by Jack Horsch. Turnovers by the Spartans. And a great tip out of bounds, trying to limit some more transition offense by the Indians. 2:38 left in this game. 61-41. It's been Indian territory in this game. And a sweep by the Indians seems pretty evident so far in this season, as the Spartans unfortunately lost their first game to the Indians, a close one, a 4 or 5 point loss at home. It was unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. The Spartans had control over the game, over that game for a large majority of it, but just slipped out of their hands. I was unfortunately not able to attend that one, as it's a foul underneath by Jack Grace, first foul of the game. But fouls have become an issue for the Spartans. 5 fouls already. 20 points. 20 points is the mark by the Indians. 25 points for Austin Ballman, 10 for Jack Horsch, 11 for Jaden Parker, as Horsch rattles one in from the line off of the Jack Grace foul. And it's Bond with it. Gets it to Parker. He's looking to work on the perimeter and looks to shoot a three of his own. Jaden Parker getting some perimeter opportunities of his own as well. 63-44, the Spartans, less than 2 minutes to go, have scrambled in this game. They scrambled in this game, and the Indians turned them to scrambled eggs. as another pass into the paint leads to a hook shot for Chase Fowler. Jaden Parker crosses over in the lane. Up and under layup. Nice little jelly on toast there for Jaden Parker. A Jaden drive leads to 16 points for Jaden Parker. 65-46, a 19-point lead for the Indians, and they're elect with running this clock down all the way. 1:13 left in the game. 20 seconds on the shot clock. The Spartans, the Collegiate Spartans, trying to pressure heavily in these last few minutes to try and get some more talking points from Coach Fiegel. As it is a strong bucket underneath by Caden Fowler, and the Spartans, 48 seconds left, down by 21. An unfortunate turn of events for the Spartans, but a learning experience as well. 4.44 left, 44.4 left in this game as the Spartans down by 21. It's not looking pretty here in Andale. A rivalry matchup looking very grim and very ugly for the Spartans. But with every loss comes a learning experience, ladies and gentlemen. And with every pass out of bounds, there goes another steal by the Indians. Yes, that was looked like that was Patusik picking that one off. And Austin Ballman, 30 seconds left on the game clock, 19 on the shot clock. He will be completely very, very content with rolling this clock out as he tries to work on Grace and gets it back to Horsch on the perimeter. 15 seconds left, 5 on the shot clock. Patusik, tough mid-range underneath, no good. Spartans trying to get something very quickly. Drum right, gets it to Clay, now to Grace. Takes a pull up, no good. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of 4 quarters, the Spartans take a rivalry loss, and a big one at that, to the Andale Indians. 67-46, the Spartans losing against the Indians for the second time this year, and it leaves a bad taste in the mouth of a Spartan fan to end the regular season. Going with a loss into sub-state is not going to feel good for Coach Fiegel's squad. But they will have a lot to work on. They will have a lot to work on and a lot to learn from this game. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen, as we will, for the first time, have a post-game interview with the players. We'll see who we can get and see if we can provide just a little bit more commentary into this game. 67-46, the Spartans take an unfortunate and tough loss at the Indians' home, and they'll go back to Wichita with a lot to learn. Stick around for post-game interviews coming to you live from WCS Sports Broadcasting. I'm Ben Shackelford, and we'll be back soon with the players. We are terribly sorry, ladies and gentlemen, as we will not be able to have a post-game interview set for one of the players, as Coach Fiegel has a lot to talk to his squad about. And a quick recap of the game. Spartans take a very, very unfortunate loss. 61 to 41 as the Spartans go back to Wichita with like we said, a lot to learn. A few points of the game were definitely the turnovers for the Spartans, and definitely a lot of missed offensive opportunities. The defense was solid, though it wasn't able to stop the ball screen offense by the Andale Indians. A lot of back screens by the Indians that led to some good offense. Paint touches were definitely there for the Indians, and the Spartans couldn't really use a lot of size in those matchups, as a lot of strong buckets by the Indians really set the tone in this game. And there were, of course, the threes for the Indians. A lot of threes. The Indians were definitely making it rain here. You could feel the you could definitely feel how they were in their groove in this game, as 25 points from Austin Ballman and a deep three to end the first half really set the tone for the rest of the game as well, as the Indians come out of this one victorious. (67-46). The Spartans take an L here on the road against the Indians, but a hard-fought battle nonetheless. The Spartans had some good moments offensively, of course, but the defense really needed to come together to really put a bit more of a grip on this game. And with that being said, I'm Ben Shackelford, and we might actually have an interview coming up. Or no, we don't. Almost thought I saw someone to get an interview from, but it's apparently there was no interest. So then again, by and by, the Spartans will improve, and they will have learned a lot going into sub-state play, as the Spartans lose the rivalry matchup against Andale and will go home with a lot to learn. The Spartans will play next at home against the Halstead Dragons, and a special shout-out goes to a Halstead class of 2021, Doug Grider, as he is the collegiate assistant strength coach, and definitely a big energy guy. So a special shout-out goes to him. Spartans play at home against Halstead on Friday, February 28th. Spartans are the 5th seed in their sub-state bracket, and a little preview on that sub-state. The teams ahead of the Spartans currently are the Haven Wildcats, the Cheney Cardinals, the Heston Swathers, and the Nemaha Central Thunder. So a lot of very, 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 a very, very loaded sub-state for the Spartans coming up, and a very, very tough path to Hutch. And looking forward to a lot of big plays from these Spartans coming up in these next few games. With that being said, I'm Ben Shackelford. So long, farewell, and live a good life. Be your best self, and be as you are. That's all from here, from now, and from all time. And finally, I'm Ben Shackelford, signing off.